Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. So this video is going to talk about, there's a car leaving the channel. I've been thinking about this for a while. Wasn't sure how to really approach it. Because I like all the cars. If I could afford it, I would keep everything. But keep watching to the end of the video, and obviously we'll talk about which car is leaving and why. All right. So which car is it? Is it the X5M? You know, X5M is getting up there in miles. Not a bad car, you know. Obviously, I'm wanting to try out the G05 or the F95. Been thinking about something like that for a while. Or is it my M3? You don't see much content on it. Don't drive it very much. Is it the Type R? You know, I've doing a few videos with that. That one's been doing really well on the channel. Or it could be Lexi's X3. Well, I'll tell you. It's going to be the Type R. But I have my reasons. All right, so you're going to be shocked. You're going to say, well, why you get rid of the Type R? You like the car, and I do. I like it, and my intended purpose was to buy this car as a fun daily, and the car has did all those things. It has served me as a fun daily driver. But it is my first brand new car, and the car, if you haven't driven a Type R, I recommend driving one. Even BMW guys out there, I know that my channel does have a lot of BMW, and it's hard to say this car is handling wise, the way it feels, the way it holds the road. It gives you that feel. But I have the M3. The M3 does those things. The M3 gives me more space. The M3, even though the color is bright, flies under the radar a little bit more, but still has sort of a road presence for those who know what it is. So the Type R, it's so good, and it feels special to me to the point where now I don't want to daily the car. I don't want to drive it as much as I want to keep this parked like the M3 and I'm not saying like, I think cars should be driven. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that we should buy cars and keep them in the garage and not drive them, because I have seen a lot of Type Rs searching for used that were like 3 or 4 years old and only had 1,000 miles. Definitely get out there and drive. I'm gonna do another video about my ownership experience with this car. It may come out before this video, so I might even have to do that a little differently in the order. But if you haven't seen that video, check that out, my ownership after over a year. But I'm getting rid of it because I just like it to the point where I don't think that I'm in a position to need a car like this, to where I have this car, the M3, the X5M, because they all do everything really well. And if you haven't followed the channel, and it's something that I'm doing, here I am, got a baby monitor, so I'm checking right now. So I'm doing this video pretty much at like 5 o'clock in the morning, because I have to do this while my son sleeps. But thinking about better for the family, I'm gonna be changing things up. So, you know, when you have a baby, you know, your priorities change a little bit more. And it's like, okay, it's not about, yeah, I do have my other, teenage kids here that would love for me to keep the Type R, and, they probably would enjoy it. But I'm thinking of something a little bit more family oriented. Don't get me wrong, it will be replaced with something. I'm looking for around. I'm gonna still shop, but it's going to be something not as flashy. It's going to be something a little bit more family oriented, something that could fly under the radar, something that could park anywhere. Because what now bothers me is when I go to park somewhere, don't like parking this anywhere. I don't like parking the M3. Is the car it's just really nice. It's a really nice car, and I don't think that I should be detailing it. Man, this is going to be a tough one to get rid of. It sort of feels like my ISF. When I got rid of my ISF, it was tough. It was hard because it's something about these Japanese cars, these sports cars. But that Lexus ISF was such a good car, and I dailied that car. Don't get me wrong, it was a great car. But when I took it on a track, and I really wanted to like get into that aspect of my driving where I did high performance driving, I didn't want to modify that car, but I could see the weaknesses of it where I needed something with better handling. And I was like, okay, do I spend the money and tweak the suspension and change the exhaust to get a little more power? But M3, M5 has always been a car I really wanted for years, ever since I was in high school. I mean, I think to Top Gear did the E46, and I remember seeing that. That's when I really started to say, okay, I'm getting like close to getting M3. I mean, it's always been E36 has always been the one that when I first saw the M3, it was like, man, that car is cool. That car sounded nice. That car was awesome. I really want a car like that, but the interior just didn't do it for me. I didn't understand what was, like I said, it just sounded cool, looked cool, but didn't know anything about it. But once I got the M3, I was like, this is the car I'm going to keep. And this is a car that is going to stay for a very long time. So I don't see myself getting rid of the M3. But yeah, the Type R it does it so well. And I probably want to sell it. It's going to be listed. I'm going to let it run for maybe a week or two. So I'll probably let it go for for a quick sale, 41, I'm sorry, not 41, probably $42,000 to $43,000. I'll see how it goes from there. It goes. The car has 12,000 miles on it. It's got a few things, and like I said, yeah, there might be some other Type Rs you might find online, but you won't find another Type R that's just as clean as this one. Because I looked around, I just tried to see what the market was like. Find some with the suspensions modified, the exhaust, and you don't, if you buy a car like that, do you really know what you're getting into? And that's risky buying a modded car, because if you have a suspension problem, you have an exhaust problem, how do you, or engine, or your car is not running right, how do you diagnose what the previous owner did? And this Type R is completely stock. I did a few little things to it, and I think that the next owner would enjoy. Obviously, the window tint's already done. It's the high-end window tint, Expel XR Plus. All right, if you look around, that is a high-grade film. It's a high-grade ceramic, block 98% IR for heat rejection. 15%. The rest of the windows look really dark right now because of the way that the light's hitting it, but it is dark, but it looks good. The windshield is also tinted 70%. It's one of the lightest ones I could go for, the windshield for the Expel. The car really does really well in heat. I've had this car and driving it in 100-degree weather, and never had a problem with feeling like the heat was coming. Actually, the air conditioning hadn't worked as hard, so it actually helped out. I did the ceramic coating myself. It is probably my second time doing ceramic coating. It was pretty easy, but it is a consumer grade ceramic coating, so I don't know if I'm gonna get the same longevity as I would from professional grade. But there is something on the car. You can see that's why the car is all shiny. The car has always been hand washed. I never took it to any soft touch wash or anything like that. I might have visited an occasional touch-free wash, but that's it. You know, with the wing and everything else, I was afraid to have it go through a foam or something with brushes where I felt like it would have damaged it. And honestly, the car's so small, it's pretty easy to go through and, hand wash it, especially with the ceramic coating. Tires have been good. Tires are still good on the tread. I've had them rotated once. And also I have the Expel partial PPF on the front bumper, on the front hood, half the fenders, headlights, back of the mirrors. Have it on the B pillar and C pillar, and then the obviously the trunk area. So the car is well protected. And also the brakes have been changed. I have a low dust pad on the front and rear. The rear still gets a little bit more than the front. I don't know if that's because of the car's brake bias or whatever, but the front is, this thing is the Akabono Pro ACT. I think I had a video on it. I also did the rear brakes with the same, and I also did it properly. I didn't just forcefully push that e-brake in there. It's been properly set with a handheld device to properly retract the piston. I know some people change these rear brakes and they damage them because they think it's like any other caliper, but electronic parking brakes, you gotta do them separate. You gotta do them a specific way. Cars also hardwired for radar detector. I have a unit in the radar detector in there. And then that will actually come back with me. But if you have a radar detector unit in, it'd be easy for you to just plug it in and mount it and go from there. I have a Honda OEM auto dimming review mirror with home link. So you have a garage door opener, you can pair it and have it right there on the review mirror yourself. No need to carry a separate remote. And then since it's auto dimming, when people are behind you with bright lights, it dims itself, which if you're familiar with that, you should know what that's like. Cars also have, don't want to have to pull this out. I might leave this, make this stay. That's why I'm kind of looking more at a private sale. But front and rear dash camera, it's Blackview DR590X. It's 2-channel, so rather the front and rear, they both have it. And then I have the 3D floor mats, all weather, and obviously the car will come with the original floor mats. Yeah. So if you're interested, here's my email down below. And just let me know what if you're really interested in this car, let's chat. Like I said, I'm probably going to ask anywhere between probably about $44,000. But depending on what we said, we can talk. You shoot me the email. Let's talk about it, and we'll go from there. We can talk about if you're out of state, we can talk about shipping. I know companies that can ship. Broker to perfectly go through. So if you're thinking that it's gonna be $3,000 to ship from the West Coast, I know companies that can get better shipping rates for you. Obviously, also the car comes with 2 keys, all the books, and the car has never been. And that's another thing. The car is so good. I want it probably would be better home on a track, but I wasn't willing to track it. Yeah, I'll do the occasional street pull and things like that, but I would never put this car on a track. It's too nice for me to do that. All right, so what's coming next? There'll be another video. But thanks for watching.